Hello YouTubers, how you doing? CJ here. I hope you're all keeping well. Okay, so I haven't done a YouTube video for quite a while yet again. There's been so much happening over the past month or so, and it's just been crazy, and I just literally have not had the time. So again, I know I've done it again. I've said my next video is going to be next week or this week, so I'm going to make this a final saying now. My videos are going to be done and uploaded literally when I've got the time. I have so many videos in mind to do, including even more requests, and I'm going to do those requests. But first, I wanted to do this video because this will be my final video on my Elvis record collecting. Now, as I always do, I'd like to thank all my subscribers, all my new subscribers, all my subscribers have been with me from the very start. Thank you so much, including those of you who view my videos but are not subscribed to YouTube, but yet have been able to send me an email. So thank you all so much. They're greatly appreciated. I do have a video I'd like to do, which is kind of important, which I will be doing pretty soon, because there's a few things that need to be said and done, and I need to get them off my chest. Right, so today's video, it's going to be the last video I show my Elvis vinyls, because I've completed. Well, to say I've completed, there is one record that's still on my list that, when I've done this list, which I've shown you in the other videos, I put this record down, but it's not something that I intended to get. It wasn't really part of my goal. It would be nice to get it to like complete, but I'm not going to cry about it if I don't. And that vinyl is the 10-inch of the Best of Elvis on the HMV label. But because it's a compilation, yes, it's still an original album, but for some reason, it's just something I'm not really that bothered about. Yes, I did have it in my dad's collection, but as I said, I've got to let all of that go, because this is now a start of like my sort of collection. And it's not as if I haven't got the tracks on other vinyls. It would be nice to get, as I said, but I'm not too bothered at the moment. So my original goal when I first started this quest has been completed, as far as I'm concerned. If you hear any tweeting or whistling in the background, it is my canary that you can hear, named Snowy, which I have mentioned in other videos. So without further ado, let's crack on with the video. Now, I'm going to show you two vinyls that I've already shown you, but there's a reason. I showed you this, I think it was in my first video, something. Now obviously they're in the protective sleeves, but obviously I'm going to be taking them out of the protective sleeves for the video, so I'm going to lie them down on the floor. So bear with me. I don't literally have a bear with me, but you know. Anyway, so I've shown you this vinyl already. This is Elvis's first album. Okay, I'm not going to take the record out because I've shown you in the original video. Now, we all know, I've already explained about this vinyl on the HMV label. Okay. And I would have been able to get this vinyl or the second album without the help of my brother, Rossi. Or Rossi 1973, as he's known on YouTube. And, you know, I don't even need to speak about Rossi because I've already spoke about him numerous times in other videos. But I can't help it because he is my brother and I love him so much. And I can't wait to chat with him. He's been working very hard recently, so. But when I got these, the first two, thanks to Rossi, I spotted something on eBay and I thought I've never really seen these before. This is the 10-inch version of the same album on the HMV label. Now, the original first pressings, which are this one and the other one I'm going to show you, as I explained in my first video, where I showed you these original vinyls, they are very rare to get hold of. Well, not so much rare, because I've seen quite a few of them around, but they are very, very expensive. As I said, without the help of my brother, there is no way I would have been able to get these. I just want to make this clear as well. We're not like real brothers. We're best friends, but we love each other as if we were real brothers. And as far as we are both concerned, we're family. So I just wanted to point that out. So I saw this 10-inch version on eBay, and it wasn't that expensive, to be quite honest. And it was actually in my price range. But I'd never seen it before, because I'd never thought it had been repressed or anything like that. But it's green vinyl. Actually, if I try to show you this in the light, as you can see a mark there. It's not actually a scratch or anything, it's actually a splatter effect. Let's see if I can, because when I hold this up into the light, it's got like a splatter effect to it. There we go. That's a bit more. If I keep it at that angle, maybe turn it around. You might be able to get my drift, but yeah, it's like a splatter effect on the record. I can't. Oh, there we go. There we go again. Look. So there we go. And I love the colour of the green, but I'd never seen it before, and I was quite miffed by it. Now, I went up to my local HMV in Cwmbran, because I'd never heard about these being repressed or anything. I mean, we all know the reissue of Elvis's first album, which over here in the UK was called Rock and Roll. It was reissued in the 70s with a different cover, and it was on the orange label. So I was quite skeptical about these, because obviously I know there are bootlegs around and so forth. I've had a lot of mixed reviews about this vinyl, along with the second album, which I'm going to show you in a second, which again is a 10-inch version. Now, when I went up to HMV, I showed them the listing before I bought it, and they had told me that they'd gone onto the system, and they told me that they were part of a special promotion. There were only few available, and they were only pressed and put out on sale in HMV for 1 day only, and they were only in selected stores. They did it with this album and a few other albums by other artists, and they did this one on the 1 day, and it wasn't long before they did the same thing again, only when they did it again, they did it with the second album of Elvis, which is basically called Elvis Presley #2, which is on the front cover. Then if you turn it over, it says Rock and Roll #2. So I thought, okay, they told me, they advised me actually to get hold of this pretty fast, and it was only for around the 20, 25 quid, something like that. But apparently I got told it's worth apparently it's worth a lot more. So when I got it, I put this up along with a picture of the original first pressing onto a Facebook group, and I got told that it was in fact a bootleg. So now, prior to this, sorry, I'm jumping back here. When this arrived, I decided, due to being still skeptical about it, and I didn't tell anyone that I had it, I took the vinyl up to HMV, and I explained to them my concerns, and they kept hold of the vinyl. They asked me if I'd like to keep it there, and they would actually show it to a few people and find out. And when I picked the vinyl up, I got told that it was an official HMV pressing, and it was a limited vinyl, and it was only on sale for 1 day. Got the same story basically. So I kind of felt lucky, but yet when I then put it onto Facebook, so many people would tell me that it's a bootleg. Now, I did get told by HMV, by the person at HMV, that bootlegs was made of this pressing, and it was done on a number of colours, and they said that the official pressing, the one that HMV had on sale, is this one, the green one with the splatter effect. And if you find the second one, by any chance, that it's like it's a gold, sort of yellow, orangey colour. So I thought, fair enough. Now, obviously, like I said, I've been getting different, you know, responses to this on Facebook, and other collectors as well. I mean, there's been a few other collectors like that said yes, it isn't official. They remember going to HMV themselves to buy it. Some people said that they were lucky to get hold of it, but then there's those who keeps on saying that it is just a bootleg. You know, me personally, I don't know what to think. You know, I mean, I got somebody from HMV who has told me face to face before I even bought the vinyl, when I showed the same person, as a matter of fact, the listing, and then when I went back up to pick it up after I'd taken it and left it there, still again telling me that it's an official HMV vinyl. Now, I'm no expert at things like that, but I think out of everybody, they would know more. I find it a little hard to believe why they would tell me it's official when I'm taking it up to them, you know. And they held it for about 2 weeks. So they obviously did the proper check-in and so forth. So me personally, with all the mixed reviews, I'm inclined to believe the people at HMV more than, you know, when people say to me about it being a bootleg. That's just my personal opinion, because I don't know what to think really, if I'm honest, but you know what I mean, and I'm sure you can understand my predicament. I'm not saying that everybody who's saying this bootleg is wrong, but yet I can't say that people at HMV are wrong too. So that's the story behind this, and it sounds brilliant. So I'm happy with it. And what I do is, also keep it in the plastics, in the paper sleeve. I keep it obviously in proper sleeve, and the plastic protective sleeves that I put the vinyls in. Yeah, I do it like that. I keep them both together. I'm going to show you this one next. So. Okay, so obviously it's the same situation. This vinyl, this is the original. See what I mean? Elvis Presley #2. Oh, and it doesn't say rock and roll 2, sorry, it says just Elvis Presley #2. Again, this is the original pressing. I showed this in my other video, so again, I'm not going to take the vinyl out because I did it when I first showed it you. Again, like I said, this vinyl I wouldn't have been able to get hold of without the help of my my bro Rossi, and I really cannot thank him enough. I really can't. Getting hold of the original pressings was just dynamite. I never thought I would get them, to be honest with you. So thank you so much, bro. So I'm not going to take the vinyl out because, like I said, I showed it to you in my other video. But I did then find, quite recently actually, I found this. And do you know what? Based on the controversy or the mixed reviews I had on the first one, I did the same thing with this. Because obviously I do know there were bootlegs put out there, because I got told that by the person at HMV. So again, I wanted to clarify and make sure. And even if it was a bootleg, I probably still would have kept hold of it anyway. It's just for peace of mind more than anything, to know what I've got. So again, I took this up, and this time I didn't show on the listing because I thought it doesn't matter to me. The description fits with the colour of the vinyl, with what I was told. So I'll grab it, I'll take it up later. So I did. I took it up, and this time they only held it for a few days, and you know, to find out for me. And they were very helpful, and luckily enough, they turned around and said that it was. There was a chance, however, that this one wasn't an official, but one of the managers turned around and sort of like sent some photographs of it to somebody else, and they said, look, you need to check for this, check for that, blah 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 blah. And apparently, in the end, this resulted to be an official HMV, and this was the second one that was put out after that one, again for 1 day only. Now, I've never heard of HMV doing stuff like that. I gotta be honest. I've heard of like special promotion deals, and you know, like HMV exclusives and stuff like that. So I've never ever heard, but apparently it does happen in selected stores. So again, it still baffles me. It really does baffle me. So, but there you have it. I'm just going on by what I've been told, and that's by people that works in HMV, and there we go. So this is Rock and Roll number 2. Again, I love this cover. I love the artwork on this cover. Now, obviously, this I'll tell you a little bit of history. The first album that I showed you, which is this one, as I explained, the track listing on the UK release of this is different to your standard version that was released in America, and the standard version that you can pick up pretty much anywhere now on vinyl or CD. The track listing was different on the HMV version when it came out in the 50s. This version, however, the track listing stayed the same. The only thing that got different about this release in the 50s when it came out was the artwork on the album cover. But the track listing was the same. So, I'm going to show you this vinyl. This was cheaper than the other one, actually. So, again, I don't know how well I'm going to be able to show you this, but this does have like a little spark effect when you hold it up to the light, but because of how light it is, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you. I don't know if it's going to pick it up or anything like that. So no, it's not coming up. Spark effect's not coming up, but it is there. I can 100% guarantee you on that. I mean, I can try and take some photographs and see if I can capture it in a photo and maybe put it up on my community section on YouTube. So let me know if you'd like to see this splatter effect, and I'll do my best to show you. But yeah, that's that version. Okay, so the next one I'm going to show you is I finally got Golden Records Volume 1. Now I know I've already shown you that one in my previous videos, but the one I showed you, the booklet was different. Now there is a website that I've been using for guidance and for you know, information of what I need to look out for on UK first pressings. Now that I've finished my collection, I am going to put that link to the website in the description of this video. So make sure you see the description, check out the link. On this site, it'll tell you what you're looking out for. Like, for instance, Golden Records Volume 1, right? It'll show you the back cover, and it'll show you the different back covers. Like, here's another Golden Records Volume 1, but that cover is the back. And it tells you as well about the label as well, actually on the vinyl itself. It'll look, even though you might get to the same, there'll be something slightly different about it. And on this site, it goes through all the variations of the labels, and it tells you what basically is your first variation, which is your first pressing, what's the second variation, which will be your second pressing, and just different things. So this website, and along with some help from my bro Rossi, I have managed to collect all the original UK first pressings. I have had got the odd exception, like for instance, I got the first pressing of the Christmas album that came out in America. Again, that was a gift from Rossi, which I did show in a previous video. But I've also got the UK first pressing of the Christmas album. So I got stuff like that, like the full album with the sticker, and then the full album without the sticker. And again, the full album with the sticker is the UK pressing of the vinyl. And I explained in my previous video about how there was a bit of a strike with the record company in the UK, and they had to import vinyls and put them in UK sleeves and stuff like that. So I've explained all of that. But basically, this website really helps you, right? And I was always told to, I need to buy this book or I need to do that. I'm like, well, I don't really want to buy this book because after I finish, this book's not going to be no use to me. So I'm spending 40, 50 quid on a book when by the end of it, I ain't going to need it. And you know what it's like. You never get fully back what you originally paid. So I wasn't going to do that because that 40 quid could go on records. So this is now the first pressing of Golden Records UK with the same booklet that came in the Christmas album. And there is actually a difference. There's a variation difference, because the one that came out in America, the Christmas album, doesn't have this section here advertising the other albums. So that's pretty cool. And it's in really nice condition. And obviously then you've got the record there on the red seal label. And it's in lovely condition. So really happy with that. And what I do see, every time I buy a new record, I've got this thing, it has to be played from beginning to end. Even singles, if I get singles, I play both sides, but I'm not really big on Elvis singles, if I'm honest. I do have a few in my collection, but maybe I'll do a video on just the singles I've got. So that's the UK edition of the first pressing of Elvis Golden Records, Volume 1. Now, there's a story about this next one. I bought, when I first found this version on eBay, it was like, with postage for 20 odd quid. Well, anyway, I'd already had the version I showed you in the previous video, which I've kept because it's like a second variation, which I'm really pleased about. It's good to have a different variation as well. And I ordered it, but the vinyl never came. Or should I say it did come, but it was the wrong version. It was not the version in the listing on eBay. It was this version here, which from the front kind of looks the same. But it's this version, the red RCA. And this is that exact record. Now bear in mind, I did put in a refund because this was not the record I ordered. I'll explain. When that happened, I put in for a refund, and a couple of days or a week later when I put the refund in, I actually come across this on eBay, which was a separate listing, obviously a separate seller, different seller. So I bought it and it came and I was happy with it. And obviously, because I put in for a refund for this version, I sent it back. I packaged it up, sent it back, got the refund, thought nothing of it. A couple of days ago, we had a parcel through the door. And we were like, what's this? I haven't ordered another record. It was returned to us. Checked the tracking number and the details, and basically, it was basically, a delivery was attempted, but the person wasn't there. And then the person then went, well, obviously I had so long to go and collect it, and obviously he didn't go and collect it. So it got returned to us. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not my fault. It's his headache, not mine, or her headache, not mine, whatever. So I've done the honourable thing. And what's weird about it, it's like I didn't want to go in for a refund. I didn't want to even, have this. I would have, like I said, I sent it back to him. I would have happily been happy if he'd sent me what I paid for. But he didn't. So, well, it's his loss. And now it's my gain. I've got another copy of Golden Records. So, that's not a bad one either. The label is quite pretty cool. So, yeah, just a different variation. At the end of the day, like I said, it's not my fault. So that's that. Okay, so then the next one that I had to get was LP fans only. For LP fans only here in the UK. It was just simply titled Elvis, but obviously Elvis's name is not on the album cover. That's something as well about this website that I use for guidance. Some albums got like half moon shaped backs, on the top and the bottom. It even tells you all of that. It tells you every detail about the cover. If it's got like a dot on the top, if it's got a certain number, if it's got a certain logo somewhere, it tells you all of that, and they show you the covers. So you cannot go wrong. And I absolutely love it. And the site is based on books as well, which is even more accurate. So I'm very, very happy to have been able to come across that site. So LP fans only. And again, as I said, it shows you the label. So it tells you about the big silver dot and the small silver dot and what the red dots are. It's like some people say that a red dot of an early album is the original first UK pressing, when actually it could be a 9th pressing or 10th pressing. Again, it'll show you all that information on the website. So I'm really, really happy about all of that. I mean, sometimes you get a big spot and it's got like something there. And on the second pressing, it won't have something there, it'll be something else. So where that's doubled up, it'll probably be like a just one line instead of doubled up. But obviously on the first pressing, this one's like a double up type thing with the NCB and the BIEM on it, what have you. So I'm really, really happy. And whoever runs that site, Elvis Vinyl UK is the site, but I'll put the link up in the description for people who are collecting Elvis's vinyls and would want to get the first editions or just want to know what editions they've got. So from LP fans only, or Elvis. Okay, and then I had to get Girls, Girls, Girls. So, Girls, Girls, Girls. Also, as always, I'm sorry about any reflections or any glares. And I'm only doing this downstairs in my living room because, obviously, you know, my vinyl's right next to me. And then I had to get How Great Thou Art. So the next one's How Great Thou Art. I found this one a little difficult to get, actually. I was always losing it and, you know, forgetting that it was ending. And then this one time then, I mean, okay, I don't like writing normally. I try to get them off with a link rather, but sometimes that spoils things, but it is where it is. As I said when I first started collecting my videos, I mean, the condition of the cover, for me, it doesn't have to be in mint or perfect condition. It has to be in good, at least good condition, but it shows it's been loved and they've been used and enjoyed, and that's the whole purpose of it. What's the purpose in buying something? Okay, I get collectors out there. I mean, I got stuff that I put on the shelf and never watch, or should I say I do watch every now and then, but you know, I don't just leave them there just for nothing. So, you know, I do get them out every now and then, I do look at them, but anyway. So, How Great Thou Art. Another thing as well, there's a couple of YouTube channels too that's also helped me by showing certain records, and I watch certain videos. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop their YouTube links down at the bottom in the description, as well as the website that I've used. So check them out, because they, you know, again, they're brilliant collectors. There's a guy who lives not far from me, actually. I'm in Newport and he's in Bristol, so it's just over the bridge. I'm only saying that because you've said in his videos where he's from. So you know, it's pretty cool, and I do enjoy his channel. This next one was Double Trouble. When I first saw this, I remember even as a kid, when I first saw it in my dad's collection, I was like, this is weird. But, you know, it's pretty cool to get Double Trouble. And then The 60 comeback special. Now, when I first had this, I always thought I had the first press in, but then on this website I spotted this right here, and I was like, ooh, okay, it can't be the first press in then, and I looked, and I found out what variation I had, which was the second press in, but I wanted the first press in, so luckily I was able to find it, and I got this as part of a job lot. It was the cheapest option for me to get it, and the other records I didn't really want, but it was the cheapest option. So what I've done is I've basically, those records now I'm now sold. So got to listen back to them anyway. So NBC TV special. Okay, and then comes to a box set, which obviously is not in a protective sleeve. I mean, if I could find big protective sleeves to fit over box sets, I'd get them. But these box sets, and this is the first of two I'm going to show you. I've already shown you the Reader's Digest one, the Greatest Hits box set in a previous video. And again, this was not on my list. It was not something I was bothered about getting. Please don't ask me why, if I'm collecting all the first UK press-ins, because obviously they are included and they are within his lifetime. I think with me, I don't like having too many compilation records or albums with the same songs on. Just the only difference could be they're in a different order and different artwork. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I'm not too bothered about the best of Elvis, despite the fact that it's quite cool to have, and yes, it's very expensive at the moment, and I could get a reissue of it on RCA from, I think it was 83, for a lot cheaper. But again, I just think, well, there's something else I want. That money could go on what I want. But these two box sets were quite cheap, both under 10 quid. So I thought, you know what, let's just go for them. And the first one is Elvis Worldwide 50 Gold Award Hits Vol. 1. This came out in 1971. Oh no, 1970. Go to this. Sorry, got that wrong there. And basically, it came with the book, which is in really cool condition. Some lovely photographs in here. So, sorry, just trying to flip through the best way I can. But I think you get the drift of it. Anybody who has this, I've seen it. So yeah, it comes with a book, which I was quite happy about. And the I'm not going to show you all the vinyls because they're just very the same. You know, they're in these paper sleeves, and the vinyl themselves was in all in really cool, great condition. Now, I always make a rule of whenever I buy a record, like I said, I play it from beginning to end, both sides. But yeah, I haven't played these box sets yet. So I might get round to doing that maybe at some point whenever I get time to just not do anything for an hour or so. So that's that box set. Okay, then the next one there was Elvis Country. And it says the special color picture inside, and I kind of skeletoned this together. That's the picture. Now, I've had the picture for quite some time. Just doing my Elvis, bits and pieces and memorabilia. And when I found out about it, I thought, someday I'm going to get the vinyl, and whether it has the picture or not. If it does, pretty cool. It's a bonus anyway. But if not, it doesn't matter because I've got the picture and I'll just put it in. And I got the this album, it didn't have a picture, so I took it from my box and I just put it in. Elvis Country. And then Elvis as recorded at Madison Square Garden. Bum, 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 bum. That one there is Rock and Roll. That is the reissue of Elvis's very first album, with the track listing exactly the same as the HMV label. But that's the cover for it. And because it's called Rock and Roll, it's kind of like a different album when you think about it then, because especially with the different artwork. I've also got the Japan version of this, which I've showed in a previous video. Again, that was a gift from Rossi, who I love so much. Can't wait to speak to him again next. I really can't. We haven't spoken to each other in a while because he's been really busy with work. But we have messaged each other, so. Okay, now this one again, a little bit more beat up than the other one, but again, it's, like I said, the box sets was not on my list. But there is something I'm quite baffled about. This is the only thing that our website, that I collect the vinyls from, I hope I followed it in the right way for this box set. When it came out in the UK, there's been a few people that told me that it didn't come out in the UK until 75. But the records, if I'm correct, because this is Elvis, The Other Side, Worldwide Go to War Hits Vol 2. Now on the back of the cover it says copyright 1975 RCA Limited Record Diversion, you know, on the name. On the records, it actually stated published 1971. And on the website, it shows the American box set. Now the American box set, you got a swatch of Elvis's clothing and a special poster inside. Now I remember having the poster. Now my dad, in his collection when I had his, he had two versions of this box set. He had the one with a swatch, and he had this one which was without. Now, like I said in my previous videos, when my dad did not let me have his collection when I was a young kid, obviously I looked at them a few times with my dad, but it wasn't until I got older that he handed his collection down to me, which you know the story. It got destroyed in 2009, which I won't go into. But anyway, due to not having his collection growing up, I decided, obviously, I was collecting my own vinyl. And it didn't matter to me growing up whether I had a first pressing or a second pressing or a third pressing or a fourth pressing. It did with some, so there was the odd one or two I knew about, but it didn't bother me in that aspect. My dad had always said to me that when I become a certain age, he would trust me and hand me down his collection. And when I turned 18, that took place. You know, I got all. I basically got handed his collection, and I treasured it. I really did. And I remember flicking through them, and I think I flicked through them once. But the problem was, because I was already collecting vinyl for myself, I didn't have the need to go to my dad's collection that I got given and take out the records and play them. I still played my own. Do you know what I mean? And I do know that my dad had two of the box sets, the one with the swatch and the on the other side of the poster. Never really questioned it. Obviously I know he had this one as well without. So there was a few exceptions that my dad had. So, you know, when it came to imports. But as I've said in the other videos, he had every album from 1956 all the way up to 77. And he had a few releases after 77, but not much. You know what I mean? It was the odd compilation, because that's basically all it was after Elvis passed. So, That's when he kind of like stopped collecting, around 1990. So, now only recently when I was looking on the site, it stated it says on it the American box set. It says that in brackets, the American box set, and shows the swatch. But then when you flick through to another variation of it, it shows this without it, and again it shows 1975. But then when it shows the other set, it shows 1971. Now, this year is the same box set. It says year, like I said, 1975, but on the albums, on the vinyl, it states, yeah, well, that's the same. Don't worry, I'm sure. Right, so it states on there, published 1971. Published 1971. I don't know how well that's coming up. And it states manufactured by RCA Limited, England, from Master Recordings. So, you know, maybe somebody can help me out with this. I mean, all I can think of is that obviously it was first published in 71 in America and got put out, and it didn't get released in the UK until 1975, which is why the copyright on the cover says 75, but the actual album itself got published originally in 71, which is why that date is on the vinyl. So maybe somebody could, you know, maybe answer my question a little bit better, you know, help me make sense of it, but that's how I'm making sense of it anyway. So, and again, like I said, I'm not too worried. This box set on the first volume was not on my list to get. So I just got them because I saw them both for under a tenner, and I thought, I'm going to get those and add them in. So in the order on my shelves, this goes in copyrighted 75. Okay. And then something else, again, I wasn't too bothered because obviously after Elvis passed, there are vinyls I'd like to get. Like, I still got to get hold of the Sound of You Cry album. And I think there's one or two more, but there's not really many, really. I think I've got what I need now. So, I mean, my list from 56 to 77 is complete as far as I'm concerned. So after Elvis sadly passed, obviously there's a few releases that came out I'd like to get, but as I just said, and I know I'm repeating myself now, so I'm sorry about that. But one of them that I thought about getting, and I've seen this go, you know, very cheaply on eBay, but you know, so it didn't bother me. But a friend of mine was selling some Elvis vinyl that he had for a while, and he asked me about them because he knew obviously I like collecting my vinyl and so forth, and I helped him as well with telling him what things were worth, what versions he had and everything. He had 3 vinyls in his collection that I'd like to have. As I explained to him, you know, that I can pick them up very cheap on eBay. I'm not going to rush out to get them, but if I did come across them, you know, in like a charity shop or something like that, I'd pick them up if they were, you know, not expensive. Because charity shops now are getting more expensive than main retailers and even more dearer than eBay. I mean, I'm not going to go buy, say 12 quid for a record in a charity shop, and I can get it for like, you know, 2 or 3 quid on eBay, just as good. And it's not exactly rare as well either, so again, I wasn't too bothered about it, but because he had them in his collection, it would have definitely saved me the postage money. And in the end, you know, when he came down to my house, he gave me the vinyl. So Ricky, you know who you are. Thank you so much, my friend. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. And that's for the reissue of Loving You, which was reissued in 1977, believe it or not. This is the 12-inch version. Now this is a reissue and not a reissue at the same time. Now we all know that when this first got released in the UK in 1957, it was released as only a 10-inch, and it contained just the songs that were in the movie. I think it contained another track at the same time. Yeah, it featured True Love, which obviously wasn't in the movie, but that's the 10-inch of Lovin' You. That's the original UK first pressing. However, when Lovin' You was first released in 1957 in America, it was released as the 12-inch, which contained extra songs that wasn't in the movie. It contained Blueberry Hill, well, in fact, side 2. Side 1, you had all the songs that were in Lovin' You, and side 2, you had all the songs that wasn't in Lovin' You, such as Blueberry Hill, True Love, Don't Leave Me Now, Have I Told You Lately That I Love You, and I Need You So. And it says on there, in fact, on side 1, at the end of it, it says all the above songs are from Lovin' You. And on side 2 at the very bottom in bracket says none of the above songs are from Lovin' You. But that's how it got released in America for the first time in 1957. And when they decided to put it back out here in the UK, they decided, let's just release the 12-inch version that was put out in America. Let's put it out in England. So technically, it's a first edition of it's the first time that the 12-inch got released in the UK, but then it was still a reissue of the Lovin' You soundtrack. So it's kind of both. Some say that, you know, don't mistake it for a reissue, because it's not. It's actually the first issue in the UK of the US release, and that is true. So, but either way you look at it, it's great to have in your collection. So I got that. Okay, now this one I bought, because I've got them in release order. I'll show you the other two that I had off Ricky after I show you this one. Because in '77, after Elvis Presley, I bought this only yesterday afternoon when I was in Abergavenny. It's called Elvis Presley, Interviews and Memories of the Sun Years. That's a pretty cool cover. And it states, side 1, The Sun Years, contains parts of actual recording sessions with the voice of Sam Phillips, the voice of Elvis Presley, plus excerpts of, I can't bloody say that name, can't pronounce that word, sorry, of Elvis Presley's Sun recordings, issued and unissued. I look forward to looking at this. Side 2, Interviews and Music, contains interviews by Jay Thompson at Wichita Falls, Texas, Charlie Walker at San Antonio, Texas, plus various other rare Elvis Presley talking intros on stage and television. So I thought it was a little different, it was quite unique. This one my dad didn't have, but I thought, you know what, for the sake of the price, let's just go for it. So I'm gonna play this in a bit. I've always loved the Sun sort of sticker, how it looked. So you know, for the sake of £8, I thought it was, you know, quite unusual. So I have seen it online a few times, but going for stupid money, and I thought, nah. Right, and then the other one then that my friend had. Now, when this got released in America and the UK for the first time in all its glory, it was released as a 45 EP basically, but then it got reissued again in 77 or 78. Damn. I should have wrote that down because I got to put that now in. I know where it's got to go, so that's a good thing. Anyway, this is a Jailhouse Rock 12-inch. It's actually a South African release, which is a South African reissue, because the first edition of this album, when it got released on 12-inch in South Africa, was in fact on a black label. I'd love to get hold of that, to be quite honest with you, because I would obviously put that then at the very start of the collection after Loving You. But as this is the reissue, I've obviously put it in the release order. I did find out what year it was released, and I've got to put it. I've got to put it by 40 Greatest, the pink vinyl. So that's that. So that's another one that Ricky gave me. So thank you again so much. Ricky also then gave me this one again, another vinyl. After Elvis' passing, this soundtrack for This Is Elvis. I mean, I loved it yesterday when I was in the record shop. One thing I really love is when you go into a record shop that sells, you know, vintage vinyl and so forth, and the guy behind the counter starts saying to you how rare something is, and basically make out they know what they're talking about, and basically trying to make you feel a little dull, when really you know what he was saying was a pile of crap. So yeah. Lesson is, you never know who you're talking to, so don't try to fill them up with crap, because they might just snake you and say, well, I know exactly what I'm looking for, because I'm a vinyl collector, and I know what to look out for, and I know what is rare and what isn't rare. So yeah, I love it, because I did ask if they got the new Shaky album, which is Reset, and apparently it's delayed. Apparently it's delayed. Yet everywhere else have got it, and yeah, shows how much certain people know. So yeah, this is Elvis. This is the last one really that I need to show you. So that is basically my vinyl collection complete. There's still some I'd like to get. Like, I'd like to get the Sound of You Cry album, which I've seen on eBay now many times for about £4. So at some point I'll get hold of it. Sometimes with eBay, what I find really does grip most is the postage. If you can buy some, especially when you're buying from the States, oh my goodness. Thanks to a good friend of mine in Sweden, I recently bought a DVD from the States of Little Richard. It's the bio movie that just came out with Leon starring as Little Richard, and that is the title of the movie. It's just Little Richard. It's a very rare DVD. It only came out for a very limited time, and I really wanted it, and due to some of the things I've done, I got help getting it. And what I didn't expect was the VAT was added on, and I'm like, what? You pay enough for the DVD as it is, and you get VAT tax? I mean, what is that all about? My goodness. I could have got it from 2 other places, like Walmart and another place, but they were manufactured on demand, which it doesn't matter to me, because at the end of the day, it's still an official release, it's still an official product. I've got something from Warner Brothers, of Freddie Starr, The Squeeze. I bought that directly from Warner Brothers, and that's not a manufactured on demand, which is an MOD as they call them, or mod as it's pronounced. All it means is they just burn them whenever they sell one, basically, and send it out. So again, and there's a lot of companies that do that now, because physical media is starting to go down a little bit. Or if something's not really popular, but is popular at the same time, maybe they'll decide to do it that way. So either way, but anyway, I ended up getting the original DVD of Little Richard, and I just couldn't get over the VAT tax. So that's going to be my next video as well, by the way. I'm going to do a video on my bio movies of my favourite artists, like Celine Dion, the Sonny and Cher story, the Buddy Holly story, La Bamba, and different movies, you know, or just my bio movies. I think that's going to be my next video. So that may even be later on today, I don't know yet. It depends if I've got anything to do. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope everybody's keeping well. And again, I apologize for being so long with the videos. I am going to do them now whenever I can. So please bear with me. Because as I'm sure you will understand, time to just fly by. And when you've got a busy life, you know, you sometimes need to sit down and think to yourself, can breathe. And sometimes when I have sat down, even if it has been in the afternoon, if I've got like 5 to 10 minutes or an hour spare, I just like to sit down, forget about everything, and just chill. You know, stick on a movie. But today I thought to myself, you know what? I haven't done a video in a while. I need to get one done, so let's do it now, or I'll never do this video. So yeah, I know the best of does look lonely on the list, doesn't it? But you know what? It doesn't faze me at all. The list is all ticked off. All 3 pages all ticked off. And I'm so happy that I can get to now enjoy listening to the sound of Elvis coming through the speakers from vinyl. So yeah, I've achieved my goal, and in such short space of time as well, because I started doing this even at the end of January, and the 5th month, so it hasn't really taken me that long when you think about it. So yeah, and again, I got to thank Rossi, because he sent me quite a lot of the vinyl, and he helped me out with a few of the other vinyls as well, especially the first 2 albums. So really can't thank you enough. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you now, and I hope everybody take care, and I hope you look after yourselves, and also look after, you know, your friends, your family, loved ones, and so forth, and keep safe and well, and I will see you very soon. Alright, that's from me, CJ, over and out.